we will definitely get off topic, but that's okay. And
We'll do like a little intro,
yeah,
introduce you, and then get right into like just chatting.
yep,
Cool.
that sounds good.
Yeah.
All right, cool. So we'll like do our little intro and then we'll start. What?
I just said that.
I'm sorry.
You should keep that in. This is a good cold
Okay,
open.
I could just hang with you guys. I mean,
there you go. Welcome to the Relocation Rundown. I'm Aaron.
I'm Geoff.
And we are the Aaron and Geoff team at Compass, your New York real estate experts. And today we have our friend Deannah Shaheen from the Greater Philadelphia area.
There we go.
I'll be redoing that.
Take that one more time, shall we?
But now you see.
yeah, totally.
And theme song.
Should we do the whole thing again?
No, just let's keep going. I think that was all usable garbage.
Usable garbage. Okay,
garbage. Cool. So, Dan, tell us a little bit about yourself. Tell us about the Philadelphia area. Where are you? How long have you been doing real estate?
So I've been doing real estate since 2018. I've been lucky enough to only be with Compass, believe it or not, which is fun.
Nice. Me too.
Yeah, me too. It's a unique story.
It is. And it's lovely. I mean, I feel spoiled, but I also feel like so connected. I live in South Philly. So if you're looking at like Greater Philadelphia, I'm closer to like the South Philly area, like by like the stadiums where the Phillies play and the Flyers play and like our sports teams, Eagles, like that direction. And what was the other question?
I mean, tell us a little bit about the market. What do you love about Philadelphia?
I think what I love the most about Philly is I think for like the tri-state region, we are just super affordable to get into the home buying. Like just in general, home buying, when you compare it to DC, you compare it to New York, compare it to Jersey, Boston, just I mean, sort of those price points, I think we're really solid entry level first time home buyers, or even just like moving up second time buyers. I think I think the people here are great. I think maybe we get a bad rep for being like a little tough or a little aggressive or a little like say it how you feel. But I think we're also like really down to earth and really, I don't know. I feel like when I moved here, I actually didn't know anyone. And now it's like you can't go anywhere without not knowing someone, which I love.
That's so nice. So you grew up just north of the city?
Yeah, just like in the suburbs.
Okay.
People in that area would never say they're from Philly, but if you met people there and you were traveling, they would say like, "Oh, I'm from Philly," but it's not Philly.
What's it like up there? It's Bucks County, right?
It's Bucks County, yeah. So it's you just like need a car, right? Everything's green and there's hills and like great school districts, clean neighborhoods, cul-de-sacs, just like the cutesy little family life maybe, but nothing like Philly. Nothing.
I feel like the only exposure to Bucks County I've had is I think when we were looking for wedding venues, there were a couple that popped up in Bucks. I was like, oh, those are really pretty for like that like barn aesthetic that we were looking at for a minute. It did not happen. But yeah, we were looking out there. It's very like, it's not far, but it gives you that farm life kind of aesthetic out there.
Is it Amish country there? Is that what Bucks County is?
Not really. Bucks County is huge. Like it really is massive. So where I'm from, believe it or not, I actually do live across from a barn. There's horses. So I would never consider it like Amish or anything, but the further north you go, which is maybe where you guys were looking for venues, like I wonder, were you in like New Hope or like
yeah, so
okay.
I don't think we actually went there, but like on my online research.
We see. Okay. It's beautiful over there to get married.
It looked really pretty. I just think we decided our family and friends weren't going to go that far. And then we didn't have the big wedding anyway. So,
yeah. But that's like, I guess you could say it's more land. There's definitely some aspects to like farmland over there. It's not 100% like that, but again, it's just so big, but it's more people go there to like settle down, to have families, to just live a more, I think, like low key lifestyle where Philly, you're just like in it, right? It's a major city.
What made you move to Philly?
Ooh, what made me move to Philly? I think starting real estate.
Okay.
I think just wanting to be around people and energy and kind of wake up with, I guess when you're starting something new, I just wanted to wake up with that feeling of like, oh, like who needs me? Like who am I gonna meet? Like what? Like I really had that energy just like that's where I was in my life. Like I feel like I was getting out of like a lower energetic situation and then I was just ready for the next thing. So when I got into real estate, it was like that's where I wanted to be if I was gonna take off on a new career.
Yeah. I know very little about Philly. I know
I
maybe,
know really nothing about Philly.
and I was there when I was a kid. My father brought me and we saw the Liberty Bell. And that's the first thing I know about Philly is the Liberty Bell. And the second thing I know about Philly is your sports mascot is like this like crazy weird orange fuzzy guy who like is ridiculous. And I don't even sports ball, but that I know.
That is not what I thought you were gonna say.
What did you think I was
I
going to
don't
say?
know, like cheese steaks or like.
Oh yeah, cheesesteaks. Three things. That's fair. That's fair. So three things about Philly. Is there more to Philly than those three things?
I mean, I think you summarized it pretty well. I think
Oh,
the sports.
great. We did podcast over.
Yeah, we're just be done.
No, but like for somebody who knows nothing about Philly, I know Chicago is like a small New York. Like tell me a little bit about how Philly would feel to somebody coming who's never been there before or doesn't remember.
Well, I do think what you said were like good points to start on in the sense of the Liberty Bell, right? Like there's so much history there. I feel like Philly is known for its beautiful history. We have great architect, beautiful, like, it's like you walk down different streets that you've never seen that exact house or that exact building before, and it like stops you in your tracks. I really do feel like that. I feel like I know Philly like the back of my hand, but there's so many times you actually slow down and you look up and you're like, that is just stunning. Like, let me just take it in. Beautiful history. I mean, there's areas where it's just all cobblestone streets. There's historic areas in Philly where if you buy that home, you're not able to touch the front of the facade, whether it's the windows, doors, right? There's things that have been around since like even the house I bought was 1920s. And there's houses in the 1800s and
No,
that's
that's like new.
yeah, right, exactly. Right, it's so funny and a lot of people don't see it that way. But the history there is it really is beautiful. It's something like I said, there's always something you can appreciate about that. So I would say that's one segment of Philly. Another is the food scene, right? The cheesesteaks are what we're known for. We have a lot of 24/7 cheesesteak places that are open that, are pretty touristy, but it's cool for if you're going to come to you kind of have to check it out. But our food scene is great. I mean, you can't even keep up with it. It's not even just that we have new restaurants, like they're good. They're really good. Um, and you can't it doesn't get old, right? Like you can spend all your money on checking out the restaurant scene. We also have really good schools. Like we have really good schools, we have really good hospitals. Like people that are in surrounding areas, you'll hear them if there's an emergency or something, they'll get like helicoptered into Penn or Chalk or these beautiful high end um, hospitals that are like the best in the area. And I think that's whether you're relocating for a job position there or that's important for a lifestyle. I think that's a huge perk of Philly. And then I would say again, like getting in on like price points. There's people that I work with that still work in New York or still take the train to go down to work in New York a couple days a week and they live in Philly price points. You can save a lot of money that way.
I've seen that a couple people who I've met have done the commute from Philly into the city, into New York City. And I think that is such a wild commute, but it seems to be doable. How long is that commute?
It's about an hour and a half, depending like
That's it.
what train you take. Yeah. I mean, even sometimes less if you get on the faster one.
Philly, that's like so close.
I know.
We're coming over.
I
We'll
feel
see
like
you
it's
soon.
so funny that I've never even thought about going to Philly.
I've thought about it. We just haven't done it.
It's so funny. Well, you're also in New York. I feel like it's just so different. But I mean, when I went, Erin, when I saw you in New York, I just jumped right on the train. It was so easy. And I felt the same way. I'm like, why don't I go to New York more? We really are very close.
Yeah.
How's the public transit in Philly? I mean, like, do you need a car in Philly?
No, definitely not. I mean, I wish it was cleaner in some ways. I think it could be a little cleaner, but it's popping. I mean, it's always running. It's
Mm,
super affordable depending where you want to go. There's pretty much a line that goes this way, and then there's a line that goes that way. So we're
mm.
perpendicular
And you're a subway line.
subway line. Yep. And then there's like regional rails depending where you need to go. But I would say a lot of my clients don't have cars, and like maybe they have two kids and no car, and they get around.
So the
Um,
city's quite walkable.
Super walkable, super, super walkable. And if not, you got buses, you got trains, you got subways, everything kind of can get you wherever you need to go pretty quick. I mean, you're not really waiting, you don't have to check the schedule. You just kind of show up and the next one pops up pretty quick. So,
Interesting.
and that's another thing I should have mentioned. That is like a huge perk of Philly. It's super walkable. Get where you need to get pretty efficiently. And I don't know, it starts to just feel smaller the more you live here because everything's so close.
For people who do like to drive, is it a relatively drivable city too? I mean, like Manhattan, you don't think is like the most accessible by car, but if you're a driver, you actually can kind of get around and even find parking occasionally. how's it? How's it for drivers in Philly?
I would say it's probably at least three times better than Manhattan, at least.
All right.
At least, maybe four. I mean, yes, I think for people who are coming into Philly from Bucks County, right, they're going to feel like, it's a little different. But I have a car. I drive it pretty much every single day. I always find parking. There's also like loading zones everywhere where you can pull in for 20 minutes and do a tour or do what you got to do.
Yeah.
So yes, I think it's a fair compromise on both sides. You don't need a car, but at the same time, if you want a car, you're gonna look for parking a few times, but you're not gonna sit in the Manhattan traffic by any means.
Yeah, that's how I feel for the most part about where we are, right? Like it's accessible, but it also is not the easiest thing, and yet we have the best public transit. So
Mm.
yeah, and it makes sense. So it sounds like there's a lot of equivalency between Philly and this New York City sort of lifestyle. What do you think is bringing people into Philadelphia? Who's relocating there? Is it just people looking for deals, or is there an industry that's attracting a lot of people?
I mean, there's also like a ton of really good colleges and universities in Philly. So I'm sure a lot of those students are staying and creating a life there. Like, what do you think?
It's a good question. I think for the luxury market, I think we're getting a little bit more like New York or DC people, North
Yeah.
Jersey even, or people that are maybe their kids are here to your point, finishing college or starting a life and buying their first home here. And now those parents are kind of following. Um, and I would say that's more like the luxury market because what you can get to us, luxury is $1 million. So
Yeah.
what you can get for a million or even 1.5 is massive compared to New York money or Boston or DC, right? So and then as far as like in general, who's buying here, I think a lot of people that have, yes, started their life here or coming actually maybe from the suburbs and want a little bit more life and experience and fun and walkability. They don't want a car. They want just like I just did an open house this weekend, and three people that came to my open house were like leaving the birds and just wanting to be around the life of Philly and having that experience of just like living in the moment a little bit and not being so isolated, right? Just kind of having the energy surrounding them. Kind of what brought me to Philly too.
What are some things about the Philadelphia real estate market that are unique to Philadelphia? Like in New York City, we have a lot of co-ops. People don't have that in a lot of other places, so it's very new. We're an attorney state here. So what are some kind of like nuances of doing real estate in Philly?
Well, I mean, we're not an attorney state. Like I practice in Jersey.
Oh, there you go.
In
Yeah.
Jersey, we do have attorneys depending on where I'm selling there. Like in North Jersey, more so than South Jersey. In Philly, it's all through title companies. Do you
Mhm.
guys use a title company?
Not as much.
We don't do it direct. The attorneys will order a lien search and title on real property. But like for us, co-ops don't generally have title because it's not buying real property, but there is a lien search against the shares and the building.
Okay. We probably have like 2 to 3 co-ops in all of Philly, maybe 2 buildings or 3. We really don't have any.
Right.
It's funny because like people don't even like know what they are here. Like when they're
Right.
interested in buying that, I'm like, by the way, it's a co-op and this is what it looks like. I'm like, oh, never mind, you know. Yeah, we are run by title companies. You need a title company to facilitate the settlement. We don't use attorneys. I've seen maybe 2 out of the hundreds of deals I've done where they've had one just to review condo docs, things like that. I will say, I don't know how New York works, but in Philly, when you sign a contract, buyer and seller, it's very protective of a buyer. Like I feel like buyers have more protection, where in Jersey, I feel like sellers have more protection, if that makes sense. Where in PA, I should call it PA, not Philly. The buyer has more support in that contract. They're able to like have more outs, have more support, have more negotiation. In New Jersey, it's different. I don't know how that is in New York.
Yeah, I think it's less favorable to a buyer in New York.
It's a little balanced, I think, for the most part. The problem with the contracts,
Well, I mean, there's not like so many outs.
right? The problem with the contracts in New York, however, is that if a buyer is in default, they don't lose their deposit. We have to litigate over it. And then that's a big misconception here in New York as well, right? Like people think, oh, well, if the contract says they have to have the board application done by this date and it's not done, then I get to keep their deposit.
Yeah, it's
So,
not like that.
no, you don't get to keep their deposit pretty much under any circumstances. To try to keep their deposit becomes a litigation usually. So generally it leads to some kind of a settlement because most people don't want to litigate over these things. So it's very weird and nuanced in how the contracts work. And that's one of the reasons I'm grateful that we don't do the contracts in New York. I let the attorney do it. Now, does that make things overcomplicated? I'm not entirely sure.
Fair. I mean, that's super fair. Yeah, ours, it's interesting. Like, I feel similar. Like, it's definitely a litigation where we're not allowed to give advice, right? When we kind of create this contract, it's like, I'm not a lawyer, but this is kind of generally what it means. However, in the case, it's going to go here. So that's similar. I will say the one thing, like a setback in Philly, is we have like a really large transfer tax. Do you guys have that?
We have a transfer tax. I'm just not sure what large is in scale of other markets. So tell me about that.
What percent is it in New York?
For anything under $1 million, the seller is going to pay in New York City about 1.45%. That's state and city tax.
What about the buyer?
The buyer doesn't pay transfer tax. They pay mansion tax on anything over $1 million.
What percent?
That's 1% of the purchase price.
Okay, so in Philly, regardless what you buy, could be the co-op, guys. It could be, something for 200,000 because those price points exist in Philly. It could be 200,000, it could be 2 million. If you're a buyer or a seller, doesn't matter. They both get charged over 2.3%.
Wow.
That's a lot.
That is a lot. Wow.
So,
is that new or is that how it's been?
wait, and actually was raised. It used to be like 2.139%, 2.139, and it went up that much more to like 2.3.
So both sides are charged 2.3. So the state or the city?
City.
The city is getting about 5% per transaction.
Wow.
Yep.
They're not even providing brokerage services.
Okay, over 4%. Now, if you go to Bucks County, it's 1%. It's 1%
Right.
on the side. The buyer pays 1, the seller pays 1. But I do think that's huge. And I think, like, I talked to a lot of agents, and they don't have that, or they don't even know what I mean by transfer tax. Like, they're like, it doesn't exist in Austin. It's just funny. So, Philly is
Our co-ops here in New York will also have a transfer fee for the co-op. So you'll pay transfer tax, but then the building will say, oh, also 20% of your profit is ours.
A flip tax.
Yeah. They say 20% of your profit is ours.
Yeah. It's not a real tax.
no,
And the building keeps it.
that's crazy.
Yeah. I've seen more aggressive ones too.
Yeah.
But this is about your market.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Well, it's just interesting to compare, right?
Yeah.
But I do want to circle back to the fact that you're licensed in New Jersey too. When people move to your area, are they generally like looking in parts of New Jersey also?
Oh, great question.
Yeah.
Some
Yeah.
are.
What
And
do you think drives that?
such a good question. I mean, there's an area in Jersey and Philly, like we're just separated by a bridge. You can get there in like 20-ish minutes. Like that's close, especially if there's traffic in Philly. It'll take you 20 minutes to go from South Philly to like Central Philly, or greater like top of downtown Philly. So it's like, well, what's the difference if I just go here or I just go here into Jersey? And I
Right.
think in Jersey, it's again a little bit more of that like neighborhoody feel, and maybe the school district's a little more sought out, or maybe they get a bigger backyard, or they get their cul-de-sac for the same price. I think a lot of people are just still unsure, like sometimes when they're coming here, what they want. Um, and I just kind of will tell them like that's probably like a little bit of homework for you guys to figure out, because everyone has different goals, and Philly and Jersey, to me, they're very different. And I
Yeah.
think people want to be really close to Philly and maybe just not be in it. I do think that a lot of people look into Jersey for school districts. I think
Okay.
they,
What do you think is like how do people make the comparison between the suburbs that are in Pennsylvania and the suburbs that are in New Jersey, if they're of like comparable commuting distance to Philly, like how do you make that decision? Like what's really driving that?
I would say they're not the same distance at all. Like,
No. Oh,
I,
okay.
yeah, Jersey is, like I said, 20 minutes you can do. The
Uh,
suburbs in Philly, the suburbs in outside of Philly, at least 45, if not
really?
Oh, wow.
least. There's like nothing that lives in the suburbs of Philly that's like under 45 minutes. Maybe I can name like one or two or three little areas that are like on a good day with no traffic. But if not, you're pushing like a 50-minute commute. So
So is that because Philly like ends at the river and then it's just Jersey suburbs right there?
in one direction, yeah. And then the other direction, it's just, yeah, it's just a longer commute.
Yeah.
There's a lot of the highways.
Interesting.
Let's talk a little bit about neighborhoods.
Yeah.
So you mentioned that you own your home. You just bought in the South Philly area near the sports ball. So tell me, what's that neighborhood called? And are there other neighborhoods that you're really fond of? Give us like a little kind of like overview.
Oh, it's so interesting. Everyone I talk to like loves their neighborhood.
Yeah.
Like I meet someone at an open house. I'm like, where do you guys live? Oh, I live here. I'm like, what do you think? Oh, I love it. And then the next person here, and it's like the opposite side, and they only love that area. I think I've learned that it's like where they've learned to get accustomed, or where they had their first rental, um, like their first building that they rented in, or something like that. They kind of stay keen on. So I bought a house in South Philly. And for me, I felt like, um, so the neighborhood's called Passyunk
Mhm.
Square. It's like a little strip in South Philly, and everyone comes down here for the food. We have this one little strip, and it's all just restaurants lined up. And it's cute. Everyone's walking around. There's a dog park. There's a fountain with benches to sit and hang out. They like light Christmas lights every year. There's like a mini parade right there. It's right off of the main subway line on Broad Street that you can go from north to south, down to the stadiums, up to Center City. Um, so it's just super walkable. I would say there's a little community. It's quiet. There's nothing happening after like 11 p.m. And so I bought just for I don't know. I wasn't actually looking. I walked in. I was like, should I buy this? Like, this is a great house. The ceilings are high. It's wide. It's deep. I could renovate it. I just saw a vision, to be honest with you. I
Yeah.
actually through and saw my whole vision, and it kind of all came to life. And I just bought a second house last year, like 4 blocks from this house,
Right.
because I just like saw a vision, and I just think the neighborhood, I don't know, it feels good. It feels really good. And then there's just so many areas. Like I would say most people, when you think of Philly, they think of Rittenhouse Square.
Okay.
That's where our office is. That's where our Compass office is. That's where it's the sought out area with like the shopping and the like high end restaurants that have been there forever, and in the square with like the trees, and you can sit outside at park and look at the, everyone, like people watch and sit at the bench and have lunch. It's kind of like the cutesy little, probably something similar in Manhattan, where what's yours, Madison Square or whatever area that everyone's kind of like gravitating.
We have a lot of.
You have a lot. Okay, we have we have a few.
Yeah, we have a few.
Is there, if money were no object, right? Is there a neighborhood that you'd rather be in if you could like spend any money?
Oh, I hmm. I change my mind a lot, but I would say if you asked me consistently every year, I feel like I just changed recently, but consistently I would have said Fitler Square. Do you know where that is?
No, but tell us about it.
Fitler Square is just so there's only one school district in Philly. It's just called the School District of Philadelphia, and then there's little areas called catchments in the Philly. And
Correct.
when people move to Philly that have kids that are in school, they kind of gravitate towards two of the catchments that are like the sought out ones.
Mhm.
So one's on one side of the river, one's kind of on the other. And the one area is called Fitler Square. It's just a really beautiful neighborhood where all the houses are very beautiful. There's brownstones, they're large, they're grand, everything's clean, everyone knows each other. There's a trail you can just run by the river. There's a beautiful dog park there. The energy is just a little bit more upscale. Where there's other parts in Philly where it's just kind of block by block, where we're still figuring it out. So it's called Fitler Square, and it basically borders Rittenhouse. And I would say Fitler Square is one of the areas where everything is kind of like a premium price.
Mhm.
And it's also where some people from New York live that I was telling you about who work in New York because they're close to getting on that 30th Street train. So there's east and west of Broad. 30th Street train is west. So anywhere as close west, north as you can get, that area, a lot of those people are catching the train to, have maybe a higher salary in New York, and they can afford to kind of live right there in that area sometimes. And that's also a catchment where people send their school. So it's there.
Are there any misconceptions out there about Philly that you'd want to kind of
clear up right now?
Yeah, clear the air about?
I would just say kind of what I was saying in the beginning. Like, I think some people think we're just like tough, and I think we are, but I think we're also like down to earth, like real. You kind of get what you see is what you get.
Mhm.
I would say though, like one thing that probably does ring true is we are kind of like always rushing. Like we're just moving fast. We really are. There's a lot going on all the time over here.
Can relate to that up here.
Definitely.
Yeah.
When people from Philly want to like go away for the weekend, where are they going? Like I know people in New York, we go to the Hamptons, we go to the Catskills, maybe the Jersey Shore. Where are people in Philly going? Where are their little vacation homes?
So the summer is hot for the Jersey Shore. I think a lot of people own in Philly and own down the shore. That's definitely a lifestyle. Um, it's quick. It's such a quick commute. I mean, you can get to the Jersey Shore in an hour and 5 minutes. And then if you hit more South Shore points, maybe it goes to like an hour and a half. But it's so easy. Like I will just drive down there to catch the sunset sometimes, and
Yeah.
then drive home after sunset just to get out of the city a little bit. But I think in the summer everyone's going Jersey Shore,
Mhm.
and there's probably like 7 shore points I could name. And then if not there, then they're probably going to the Poconos. Um, for some hiking, for some nature, for some off time, just for that lack of stimulation, a reset, fire, mountain, that kind of lifestyle. But I think most people, it's like summer hits and everyone's down the Jersey Shore.
Yeah. What about winter? Is there like skiing nearby in the Poconos?
There is, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Are you a skier, snowboarder?
I've never skied.
No.
I've never skied. And I love like athletics and like I love that kind of stuff. And dude, I broke my hand last year. And when I was in physical, what was it called? PT,
Mm.
almost every other person that was in there, like my girl would tell me, she's like, oh, everyone like is injured from like skiing.
Oh yeah, totally.
And like, I just think of like, I'm like, I don't think I can do it now. Like, I don't know if I can give that up.
Yeah,
I was
it's
giving
tough.
it a try, and I was like I was having fun. I was going down the like little mountain, like again the little mountain, and I guess like at one point my legs just stopped willing to hold me up because it's like a lot of work. It's
It
like
is.
it's
Yeah.
athletic,
Yeah.
and I went down and I slid across the ice, and my shirt came up and it scratched up my back, and I was like, I think I'm done.
Seriously, it's a lot.
Good. It was fun. I'm okay.
And like, that's like scary enough. Like, it could have been worse. It's like, I think I got the lesson there.
If I
Like,
break my leg, I can't really be doing my job so well.
Yeah. And I don't want to do showings.
Yeah, so I need to be able to go do showings.
like,
I don't want to do that.
if I go up and I'm like hiking, I'm like looking for animals, I'm doing like a little fire pit, maybe a sauna. I don't do the skiing thing, but a lot of people do.
Yeah.
Last thing, I guess, is there a kind of last thought you'd want people to leave with, a final impression of Philly, or like something that you would want to be like the headline here?
Cool. Headline here.
Oh,
It's a
come
great.
up with some kind of
Oh,
like, what's
to
the
think
big
about.
takeaway today?
I feel like if you want good energy, you want good food, and you want to be able to not be house poor. I mean, I really do think Philly is the spot. People, like good people, truly.
Yeah.
I love it. Thank you so much for taking the time to chat with us about Philly. Can you tell everybody who's listening, to our hundreds of thousands of listeners, would you tell them where they can find you and give us an outro for yourself?
Like Instagram, maybe, or is that what you meant?
Where's the best way to get to you?
Or if you have a website, whatever you think.
I think Instagram's the move. Yeah. So I'm just my name at Deannah Shaheen. That's my handle. Come check me out.
Beautiful. Well, thank you so much for joining us. I'm Aaron.
I'm Geoff.
And this has been the Relocation Rundown. We'll see you next week.